David Common is in fact in Ghana, reporting on the workings of a vast criminal network that sees Canada as a target.
Here in the West African nation of Ghana, there are a lot of signs of Canada, because if you know someone who's had their vehicle stolen, or if you've had your vehicle stolen, there's a decent chance it's ended up here.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now today we're diving into the world of car insurance, discussing its importance and why it's a staple in our lives. But before we explore why car insurance is an absolute necessity or questionable, let's check on this particular video.
The insurance industry lost $1 billion to auto theft last year, with $700 million in losses in Ontario alone.
With no signs of theft slowing down, some insurance companies are now adding surcharges if you drive a vehicle at risk of being stolen. Pat Foran has this consumer alert. Pat.
Thanks, Michelle. And Raheem, criminals take some vehicles because they're highly sought after overseas, but they choose others because they're easy to steal. Either way, if your car is on the list of the most stolen, your insurance premiums could be going up. Thieves seemed to casually take their time earlier this month, stealing a Lexus SUV from a driveway in Scarborough.
Alert area, please leave.
They didn't seem rattled by a security warning and even appeared calm as they cut through the steering wheel to remove a steering lock. The owner of the car is still without a replacement vehicle, and his insurance is expected to rise $2,300 a year.
We have family events coming up. I need a car, vehicle shortage, price is high, interest is high. So everything in a mess.
The Lexus RX series is number 2 on the Equite Association's recent list of most stolen vehicles. If your car is considered a high risk of being stolen, there's a...
So let me pause right there. So the first necessary component of why car insurance is needed is, number 1, financial protection. Car accidents can lead to significant expenses. Insurance ensures you don't bear the full financial burden, covering repair costs, medical bill, and even legal fees. Now, number 2, the second one we're going on to, is legal requirement. In many places, especially here in North America, having car insurance is the law. It's essential for driving legally and avoiding fines or even license suspension. If your cops pull you over, you know exactly what time it is. Now, the number 3 component I have here is peace of mind. Knowing you're covered provides peace of mind, and you can focus on your journey without worrying about unforeseen accidents or damages. Let's go further into the video so we can talk about number 4 and number 5.
There's a chance the next time your insurance policy renews, your premiums will be going up.
In some cases, we're seeing up to $500. If your vehicle is on their list of vehicles that have been targeted or stolen a lot over recent years.
In some cases, a 35-year-old male driver in Toronto with no prior convictions with a Honda CR-V has seen a 26% increase in their comprehensive insurance over last year. Some insurance companies are providing rebates or offering to install tracking systems in vehicles at high risk of theft. However, if you don't agree to be tracked, your premiums could increase.
If you guys don't do this, we will increase your premium.
Now, before you buy a vehicle, you should check how much your insurance will be and consider cars that may be cheaper to insure.
So you have to shop around, and maybe that fancy brand new spanking vehicle that you also wanted, you're going to have to factor in the insurance costs into that vehicle when you're making the purchase. So we're going to go right into number 4, and that's protecting others. Car insurance doesn't just protect you. It safeguards others on the road. And if you're at fault in an accident, then your insurance helps cover the expenses for the other party involved. And that's why you have personal injury cases are so high, and lawyers actually make a killing based on this one particular clause. Number 5 is loan and lease requirements. Now, if you're financing or leasing your car, insurance is typically mandatory, and it protects the lender's investment in case of an accident. So let's continue.
Speak to an insurance broker or agent before you sign those papers, because you have to factor the cost of insurance into the whole cost of vehicle ownership.
And if you do get hit with a surcharge on your premiums, it may be a good time to shop around.
As a consumer, you receive your renewal in the mail and notice that you're receiving a $500 surcharge or any type of surcharge. It's definitely a great time to explore your options. There will be other options out there that won't be surcharging as heavily.
And not all companies are adding surcharges if a vehicle is at high risk of being stolen, but it's likely more will. The industry is also calling on manufacturers to do more to prevent vehicles from being stolen in the first place. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
Now we're going to turn to 5 reasons why car insurance may seem unworthwhile. And the list I have here is relatively short, but we will start with the number one burden for which most car drivers is, 1, the cost. Now, premiums can be expensive, and it may feel like you're paying for something that you don't use. However, it's considered an investment in your financial security based on what you're seeing here. And we're going to go further into another video, and it will tell you exactly why you need to pay your car insurance.
Insurance fraud experts are warning of a national crisis of vehicle theft, and a CBC News investigation has tracked down vehicles stolen from Canadian driveways halfway around the world. David Common is in fact in Ghana, reporting on the workings of a vast criminal network that sees Canada as a target.
Here in the West African nation of Ghana, there are a lot of signs of Canada, because if you know someone who's had their vehicle stolen, or if you've had your vehicle stolen, there's a decent chance it's ended up here. Take a look and I'll explain what we mean here. So, Dodge Ram here, this one, we took a look inside. There's insurance documents for the original owner, North York, Ontario. It was likely stolen out of their driveway at night, although we are now seeing increasing carjackings, more violence that's used in what is a surging crime in Canada run by organized crime. And the authorities in Ghana are pleading with Canadian authorities to do something about it, to take more action, because in just the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area, 27,000 vehicles were stolen last year. It's not just Toronto either. Take a look. The original license plate from Quebec.
Before we go further into the rest of the video, let's go through some of these other components. Now, number 2 is no-fault accidents. And in some cases, you may be in an accident that's not your fault, but your car insurance rates can still increase, and this can feel unfair. Number 3, deductibles. Yes, the worrisome deductibles. And depending on your policy, you may have to pay a deductible before insurance kicks in, which can be a financial burden in itself. Number 4 is optional coverage. Now, some types of coverages like comprehensive and collisions are optional. Skipping them may lower your premium but leave you vulnerable to certain risks. And the 5th and final one is rare use. If you rarely drive or have an older car, you might question the need for insurance. However, accidents can happen to anyone, and it's better to be prepared.
On this Ford F-150, you know, up here, that's a CRV. This vehicle came out of New Jersey. But for the most part, these are Canadian vehicles, 2/3 of them in this lot seized by authorities here in Ghana. This particular vehicle, see if we can pull it off here. This, we know, is from Ottawa. Reported stolen, was attempting to be sold here. How do they get here? Well, inevitably, when they get stolen, they rapidly get put onto trucks, onto trains, and into the port of Montreal. They are shipped onwards from that point and get to places like this, get to Ghana, but get beyond, get throughout Africa and the Middle East, where they are sold as legitimate vehicles driven by people. And of course, it's costing Canadians dearly as our insurance rates go up to pay for this surging auto theft. David Common, CBC News, Accra, Ghana.
Now we're going to discuss why insurance premiums tend to increase over time. And number 1 factor we have here is inflation. The rising cost of living affects insurance, as companies need to cover increased expenses. And as you know, the consumer always pays the brunt of anything that increases. Number 2, we have the claim history. If you've had accidents or made claims, your risk profile may increase, leading to higher premiums. Number 3 we have here is market trends. Insurance rates can also be influenced by market trends and economic conditions. As you're seeing right now, we're going through an economic downturn and everything is increasing. So the car insurance companies, they want their piece of the pie as well. Number 4, we have state regulations. Changes in state laws or provincial laws here in Canada and regulations can impact car insurance pricing. What we have to be doing now is be shopping around for the best available rates. I certainly am starting to shop around because my premium also went up. Number 5 is repair and medical costs. As car repairs and medical expenses become more costly, insurance adjustment premiums to meet these rising costs will actually continue to rise. As you're seeing in the video right now, the rise in theft in Kia and Hyundai south of the border has caused their premium to more than double, sometimes even triple, because those vehicles are extremely at risk based on the fact that they lack certain security amenities because the manufacturer decided that they want to give customers the cheaper alternative, but it backfired. And the reason why it backfired because it made it more acceptable for theft. Now, we want certain things in life, we just have to pay the premium price for it. And that's basically what it is. Let me know your thoughts below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It'll only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.